So we are all set to have a short session on Bhagavad Gita. Let us see how many days I am able to continue it. Normally when we go away, it is for conducting a jnana yajna. And whatever I speak there, generally it will be in English and it is available for all of you. When I visit Purnashram in Dakshin Khanda, there I talk mostly in Bengali to the local audience. So you will not be able to have a reproduction of it as will be the case when we visit other places. This is in a way denial, a disadvantage, but nothing can be done about it. But our people have been providing you with an alternate subject for hearing, and that is very good also. I think they missed last time. Shuddho buddho vimuktaha Shruti shikhara giram mukhyatat parya bhumihi yasmad jatam samastam jagadidam amrtat vyapya sarvam sthido yaha yasyam sham shavatarai suranaravanajayir rakshidam sarvametad tam bhumanam mukundam hridigatam amalam Krishnameva prapadye tam bhumanam mukundam hridigatam amalam Krishnameva prapadye Madhya hridaya kashe sadanandamayo guruhu udetu sadatam samyak Swatmananda Prabodhaka Hari 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 Om Tatsat Hari Om Tatsat Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru As usual, we shall have collective recitation 3 times of the auspicious monosyllable Omkara. The benefits of this collective recitation I have explained to you several times. While reciting, every one of you must have the sankalpa, the creative thought that our collective recitation should spread upon the whole of the earth, showering its benedictions on all living beings thriving upon our planet. Think specifically in this manner. Interlock your fingers and put them on your lap. Close your eyes, open the mouth and the heart and join me. My voice is still on the decline. You will have to make up for whatever I lack. So put the full voice and recite quite loudly. Better, you have to. And the opening verse before Krishna commenced his advice, instructions, Arjuna's confession. Karpanya dosho bhagata svabhavaha.
Karpanya dosho bhagata svabhavaha.
Pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha.
Dharma sammudha chetaha.
Yachreyasya
Yachreyasya
nishchitam bruhitanme.
Nishchitam bruhitanme.
Shishyasteham
Shishyasteham
Shadhimam
Shadhimam
Tvam Prapannam.
Tvam Prapannam
Shishyasteham
Shishyasteham
Shadhimam
Shadhimam
Tvam Prapannam.
Tvam Prapannam.
Don't expect that I can talk very well. My voice is not good. Let us begin. Maya saktamanah partha.
Maya saktamana partha.
Yogam yunjan madashrayaha.
Yogam yunjan madashrayaha.
Asamshayam samagram mam.
Asamshayam samagram mam.
Yatha jñāsyasi tatshrunu.
Yatha jñāsyasi tatshrinu.
Jnanam teham savijnanam.
Jnanam teham savijnanam.
Idam vakshyamyasheshataha.
Idam vakshyamyasheshataha.
Yajñātvā neha bhūyonyat.
Yajñātvā neha bhūyonyat.
Jnātavyamavashishyate.
Jnātavyamavashishyate.
I am wondering whether all of you have been able to place this chapter, which marks a very special beginning in Bhagavad Gita. We have 18 chapters in the Bhagavad Gita, and the first 6 chapters are over. The entire Bhagavad Gita is generally divided into 2 sections, each having 6 chapters. So the first section is over. What is that section about? It tells you how this Bhagavad Gita originated. It was a very instantaneous development, most unexpected, in the great battlefield of Kurukshetra, where 4.5 million warriors had assembled. I don't think anywhere in the history of the world, as far as we are able to know, such a large number of fighters had assembled to fight. And it was a very righteous war, dharmic war. They had come there to fight against one another. And the logical climax of such a fight was, all people except those few who would survive winning the battle alone would be left. All the others were killed. And this literally happened. All the fighters except 10 died. They did not die, they were killed. Hit by the opponents, everyone fell. That was their ideal. Nobody wanted to return from the war except winning the war. Either they would come back winning the battle, or they will fall dead hit by the opponent. This was the decorum of the fighters. Can you imagine? Now, how is it that a seemingly philosophical or spiritual gospel, as it is understood to be, I have always tried to explain that it is an administrative treasure trove. It has nothing in the way of religion. It was an insight, an evaluation, a perception, a comprehension provided for Arjuna, because he felt deluded even after 13 years of preparation to fight the same war. Can you imagine? And where was the time and how much time was available to redress Arjuna's delusion? The war cries had already been raised. A discharge of arrows was about to begin. Right at that point of time, because of the greatness of both Arjuna and Krishna, they found the two are engaged in a conversation. And it was about the war. So all the others simply kept quiet, holding their breath. They already had the bow and the arrow ready to be discharged, but none of them did it. This was the righteous sense that prevailed and ruled the entire battle of 18 days. Can you imagine? So from the intensity of action for which all people had come there, suddenly there was an arresting silence, inactivity. Except Krishna's and Arjuna's sound, conversational sound, nothing was there. And that spell lasted maximum for 2 hours or 2.5 hours. Until whatever was obstructing Arjuna was totally redressed to the satisfaction of Arjuna himself. Krishna asked, "Did you hear me well? Is your delusion gone? Is stability restored in you? Where do you stand?" Arjuna said, "I heard you well. I understood. I have got clarity. My stability is regained. My delusion is gone." I shall take back my bow and arrow, and I shall fight if necessary a score of Mahabharata wars, if necessary. Can you imagine this unimaginable transformation? The first is the heroic and valorous Arjuna becoming a weakling in front of the war, in the midst of the war. And Krishna taking up the cause. He did not touch Arjuna. He did not stroke his body. He was holding the 5 horses in front, standing. And turning back, he was talking to Arjuna, who already was seated. Unable to stand, he sat on the chariot. An event like this had not transpired in India or elsewhere, anywhere in the world. Turning back, Krishna started speaking in the same stretch. Initially, Arjuna's was one of resistance, conflict, intense sorrow, agitation, fear, delusion, ignorance, everything. Every one of them was aspirated by Krishna. And the whole message was revolving upon, what have you come here for, Arjuna, to fight? Speak about it. Do it. Whatever is your trouble, I shall remove it. But you have come here to fight of your own option. And that cannot suffer at all. Imagine the acute nature of the crisis and the pointed way in which Krishna was speaking and the magical effect it produced, every word of Krishna in the mind of Arjuna. So the first 6 chapters you will find, it is clothed in activity, activity, activity. Remain active, remain active, remain active. And gain your fulfillment in and through activity. Never speak of shunning it. Even if you want to shun, Prakriti, an irresistible, comprehensive force, will not allow you to. So it was all knowledge and clarification, a right, insightful exposure. This is what happened. Now that part is over. Whatever Krishna wanted to say was said, and whatever Arjuna wanted to know normally to fight the war, that also is over. But here are 2 personalities. Arjuna is a personality in which he has a body consisting of the sensory organs. Inside that he has an emotional mind, and he has a rational intelligence, and he has an assertional ego. These 3 have to be touched up in full measure. It was not sufficient to become an everlasting dialogue, an everlasting instruction, if he dealt with only the what. Human life is complex, far more complex in the world around everyone. So we must have ample knowledge by the strength, inspiration and wholesomeness of which we shall be able to live in this world, facing any kind of a confrontation, any kind of anything whatsoever, enigma, and we must be able to go forward. So the mind and the intelligence should be touched up in greater detail. So Krishna used this as an opportunity. What was the prayer of Arjuna? Karpanya dosho vahata svabhavaha. I am suffering from narrow-mindedness. This is standing in the way of my comprehending matters in their full perspective. So Arjuna had to be fed and nourished. The nourishment and feeding were one for the emotional mind, another for the rational intelligence. Equally so it was to the assertional ego as well. So the conversation is extending out of Krishna's own option. He says, Mayi asakta manah partha yogam yunjan madashraya asamshayam samagram mam yatha jnasyasi tachrunu. It is Krishna's own extension, not Arjuna asked for. The 3rd chapter followed because of Arjuna's question. How to understand this? See, all the people in the world, in one way or the other, they are worshippers of God. They may not physically worship, but all people recognize that this world is not a human creation. If it is not a human creation, it can only be divine. The only word that we have coined, different from human, is divine. That means non-human and preferably supra-human. Something that transcends the human dimensions, human potential, human possibility. That is how we have derived the word God, Almighty, etc. Though we use the word God, it is our own coinage, but nobody understands what this God really means. Is it something pointed in nature and dimension? Or is it something comprehensive? If it is comprehensive, what all are included in this? See, people who go to the temple, they look at the idol, tender some prayers, and they come back. And for decades, God remains that idol. And the idol by its very nature is a limited one, a small figure. Around the idol is far more than what is inside what is in the idol itself. But is God something like that? Certainly not. God is a profound aggregate. Aggregate. Aggregate of what? What are the ingredients or elements in the aggregate? If you start thinking in this manner, there is a lot of explanation, understanding, inquiry, answers. So many will be required. Though we represent God as an idol in the temple, what about the entire world? Endless, various, infinite in all its dimensions. What about that world? Is it included in Godhood or it is separate from Godhood? Is God different from all this? If God is different from all this, who is the power and source of this non-godly infinitude? So a lot of clarity has to be had in this matter. Is God only an idol? Is he only a point? Or is he a huge circle? Does he have variety in him? If so, what kind of a variety is this? How can we have a full view of God? That is how this explanation becomes necessary. Maya asakta manah partha yogam yunjanmadashraya asamshayam samagrammam yatha jnasyasi tachrunu. If you have to know me, you have to know me in full. What is that fullness? Obviously, it must be containing an infinite measure, infinite kinds, variety, etc. So, that fullness of understanding is necessary. That is called jnanam teham savijnanam. It is knowledge, knowledge. It is something that you have to hear with your ears. Register the words and ideas in your brain and make the intelligence rationalize about the whole thing. So this knowledge is communicated through the ears to the brain, and the intelligence is the factor on the other side who will have to process it and convert it, transform it into a beautiful and functional knowledge. Jnanam teham savijnanam idam vakshyamya sheshadha. I am giving you the knowledge and also the expansive note, dimension of that knowledge, which will be experiential to you. So the whole pursuit is an application and extension of human intelligence. Yat jnatva neha bhuyo nyat jnatavyam avashishyate. A person who goes to the temple, sees the idol, worships and comes back. Has he known everything about God? What about the earth? What about water? What about air? What about fire? What about space? Do they have any limits? If so, where are the limits? What are the properties these have? So the visible world is something endless and varietal, infinitely varietal. So we must have a fair knowledge, and that knowledge should lead to greater and greater realization of the subject. So with this introduction, he begins. What does he say? Manushyanam sahasreshu Kaschid yadati siddhaye yatadamapi siddhanam kaschinmam vetti tattvadaha. Recite. Manushyanam sahasreshu
Manushyanam sahasreshu
Kaschid yatati siddhaye
Kaschid yatati siddhaye
Yatadamapi siddhanam
Yatatamapi siddhanam
Kaschinmam vetti tattvadaha.
Kaschinmam vetti tattvataha.
It's a very simple but profound statement. Manushyanam sahasreshu. Out of thousands of people, humans, Kaschid yatati siddhaye. It occurs only to rarely one person, one individual, to try for something religious, spiritual or divine. We are all born here, and like animals we want to eat, we want to sleep, people want to mate, have a family, children, earn money, bequeath it to the children, finally go back with a lot of complaint and dissatisfaction. This is what all people are doing. Arey, where are we? What are we? What is this world around me? Does it have any boundary? Can there be an unbounded existence? What can be the source for such a profound phenomenon? People who go to the temple, they are satisfied. They make some offerings, they do some prayers, they get some prasada, they come back. And that idol is everything, everything, everything for them. Out of thousands of people living in this world, only one adds a little meaning and purpose to his worship. I say, I am a worshipper of God. As a worshipper of God, I want to know what should a worshipper be like. Is there anything called a devotional life, a devotee's life? How will you describe a devotee? Is he a good human, benign human, beneficial human? Now, this kind of an inquiry about what we do, very rarely it occurs to people. They are satisfied with hunger and thirst, wearing dress, having a place of dwelling, making it more and more prestigious, earn money, have enough, and accumulate, bequeath it by a will, and then go away. Nobody tries to understand who am I, what am I, where am I, what is this world, what is the purpose of human life. This kind of inquiry nobody has. So everybody wants to attain something with religion or devotion. Yatadam abhi siddhanam kaschinmam vetti tattvadaha. Out of thousands, only one. And amongst such ones, rare ones, kaschinmam vetti tattvadaha. Very, very rarely one knows me in essence. So, knowing God in an essential manner is a privilege of only very, 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 very few, not more. Actually, Krishna has made a reference to this rarity and also the wonderful nature of this Atmajnana seekers, enlightened people and the like. What did he say? In verse number 29 of the second chapter, he said, Ascharyavat pashyadi kaschidenam, Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanyah, Ascharyavat chainam anyashrinodi, Shutvapyenam vedana chaiva kaschid. My dear souls, this knowledge has always remained a mystery. It's a very rare product. You know, I have been conducting jnana yajnas for several decades, and hundreds of people listen to me. And after listening to me, a good number of people become fond of their Swamiji. They come to see him, and in one or two visits they say, Swamiji, I would like to have Diksha from you. And such Diksha Valas are in hundreds. So when I give Diksha, I always say, this is the last thing in human life. Remember this. I also ask them, what do you want from me? Why have you come here? And the replies you remember, these replies should adorn you, inspire you, guide you, enlighten you throughout your life. All this I have done. In spite of it, you will find a good number of the initiated people, seekers, they never let me know whether they are living or not living. When I go to the city or town again, I used to conduct a common meditation. That day, those people will appear. So I sometimes humorously ask them, are you still living? This is the type of rarity, the qualitative seekers that people are. With a lot of fervor and devotional surrender they come. And after getting Diksha, they don't. A person who is about more than 90 years old, not much younger to me, here also Diksha. And after taking Diksha, what should be done, he has not done. What is that? That reliance on Diksha and reliance on who gives it to him. And after so many years he is asking, how to make my reliance unshaky? The entire secret is held by the mind. You tell the mind, my reliance should be exclusive, 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 exclusive. I want to have exclusive reliance, full reliance, 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 reliance. You tell the mind will become exclusive. Such a simple thing. And they want explanation, they want confirmation, they want further reinforcement. What is this? A child will do it. Rely upon your Diksha. Hold on to it. You have chosen it, you have sought it, you have gained it. So give it that supreme place in your life. And again you are asking, how to give it supreme place? No answer is called for. If you want to make it supreme, make it supreme. Tell your mind that I want exclusive reliance on my Diksha, exclusive reliance on my Diksha. Suppose you go on telling the mind consistently for about a week or two, you will find you get exclusive reliance. Ashcharyavat pashyati kaschidedam. Very rarely one happens to understand the Supreme Soul. I am not the body. I have a body. The body is a product of matter, a product of the food I consume. All food is material. So the body is a material mass. Being so, it is inert, I-N-E-R-T. It has no potential to experience or to know. So it is totally inert. But I am not inert. I say I am. I understand, I speak, I see, I feel, I think, I memorize. This cannot be done by the body. Obviously, there is something different from the body inside the body, which animates and activates the body. That is I am. If I am that, should I not become conscious of it? How to be conscious of it? Think about it repeatedly. Ratiocinate it in your own within. Until you are sure about it, you can vouchsafe on its behalf. Continue the rigorous effort. All of you are always studying and knowing, studying and knowing. This is also studying and knowing. But this is not an object, but this is the subject. It is this subject that perceives all objects. The object sees, at least in sleep, but the subject never ceases, never ceases. So, Ashcharyavat Pashyadi Kashidayanam. Whenever anybody comes to know the self, oh, he is a very, very rare person. All are born not to look for the self, the I, but to fatten the body. Their interest is only in material, massive things. Very rarely, Ashcharyavat Pashyadi Kashyadayana, one makes an effort to perceive the self. I am not the body, but something different. That is what I say I am. So it is not a matter of doubt, it is very clear. All that is necessary is I should know, I should know, I should know. It is an object, it is not an object which the senses can perceive. It is inside the body. So I have to realize it. How? So very rare. Ashcharyavat vadati tathaiva chanya. Maybe some person realizes, but he may not be in a position to explain it to the understanding and guidance of others. So an exponent is much rarer. A realizer himself is rare, and exponent is still rarer. Ashcharyavachayana manya shrinodi. After hearing about the self, about the I several times, maybe after introspecting over whatever he has heard, that hearing, that itself is very, very rare, wonderful. Shutvapyenam vedana chaiva kasyid. He listens to it in hundreds of ways, hundreds of times. But he is not able to understand. As I told you about the 90-year-old person. What is reliance? And how can I rely on my Diksha and my Guru? He is asking at the age of 90. So what is it? Very, very rare. Shutvapyenam vedana chaiva kasyid. After listening to properly, one is not able to know it. Kathopanishad puts it in a much better manner. Yama, in explaining the rarity of the self, the I, he tells Nachiketas, Shravanayapi bahubiryo na labhya Shunvantopi bhagavo yamna vidyuhu Ashcharyo vakta kushalosya labdha Ashcharyo jnata kushalanusishta. Shravanayapi bahubiryo na labhya. Not many are fortunate, given to listening to a true exposition of the self, of the I. Shunvantopi bhagavo yamna vidyuhu. It is true, when a proper exposition is made by a man of realization, hundreds of people will come and listen to, because it's such a rare elevating and enlightening proposition. So people do come. When I started moving in Kerala, holding discourses for 2 weeks, sometimes very rarely 21 days, hundreds and hundreds of people used to come, maybe thousands and more. Otherwise, when Vedanta is spoken in a traditional manner, you will not find more than 10 or 20 listeners, and only women. When I used to talk, always men outnumber the women, the listeners. So many people do come, get an opportunity. That is the greatness of our country. I have gone to villages, remote villages. People come with an indigenous torch, burning torch, made out of coconut leaves. They light it and wave it and come and listen to me because they have to go back. By the time I finish my talk, it will be 8 o'clock and they cannot see their way. It will be dark. They used to come. So, Shrinvantopi Bhagavo Yamna Vidyuhu. They listen to with a lot of interest, attention, devotion, piety, fervor. But still, understanding that does not grace them. Ashcharyo Vakta Kushalosya Labdha. If you are able to spot one who can expose the self properly in its own manner, then that person is a very wonderful and rare person. Kushalosya Labdha. To be able to such an exponent is also a great fortune, very rare. Ashcharyo Jnata Kushalanusishta. Instructed properly by a Sadguru, if one takes to sadhana and the sadhana progresses and he is able to attain siddhi, fruition, then really rare and wonderful. What a beautiful verse. You should learn and recite all these. Then only your own sadhana will be strengthened. You will understand how rare is this proposition and how rarely I have heard it. My interest has grown. My association with the teacher also has grown. You will be able to analyze and evaluate matters. Now here the point is God a pointed entity or is God a comprehensive presence? If He is a comprehensive presence, in what manner is He present everywhere? The world consists of solid objects. Earth is solid. Water is liquid. Wind or air is gaseous. Then you have hot and brilliant fire. And finally the indescribable space. How is that comprehensiveness of God contains all these? So is it really comprehensive, or the comprehensiveness is also broken by the earth, by water, etc.? So the subject has to be understood. It is not just an idol which I go and worship. It only idolizes God. What it idolizes, today or tomorrow I must know about it. I cannot remain always an idol worshipper. An idol worshipper. I cannot always be. I want to know what I worship and what is the role of the idol. What does it signify or represent? So from the mere sensory and mental level, the worship has to be taken to the intelligential level, where you start inquiring investigating, evaluating, determining. You should understand words and ideas like infinitude, infinity. Things which are gross and subtle. What is meant by subtlety? Our body has an inside. The whole body is full of matter, water. Inside that body is the presence called the mind, intelligence and ego. What are these presences? They cannot be gross. They can only be subtle. What is meant by the subtle presence as different from the gross? So my dear soul, when it comes to this, it is only a voyage of knowledge. Your intelligence will have to come into operation. And you will have to seek answers, clarifications from your Guru. So that comprehensiveness, that aggregate character of God, Sri Krishna wants to explain and make Arjuna know about it. He must have an expanded version. Who? Arjuna. Bhumi rapo nalo vayu kammano buddhidevacha ahankara idiyame bhinna prakriti Ashtadha. Krishna is explaining everything with reference to himself. The authority is so wholesome and supreme. Bhumi rapo nalo vayu. So recite. Bhumi rapo nalo vayu.
Bhumi rapo nalo vayu.
Khammano buddhirevacha.
Khammano buddhirevacha.
Ahankara idiyame.
Ahankara idiyame.
Bhinna prakriti Ashtadha.
Bhinna prakriti Ashtadha.
May prakriti, my nature, bhinna Ashtadha. I have got a composite nature. This compositeness consists of Ashtadha. It has got 8 constituents in it. Arjuna, you are seeing me as a body, as you yourself have a body. But inside this body, there are some presences which are not visible to the senses. But nevertheless they are. And we can comprehend them. To comprehend, we have only one faculty called intelligence. So the intelligence has to be applied, then pursued. Automatically comprehension will result. So he is explaining, giving him suitable ideas and linking them in a sequential manner. So he says, Bhumihi, Apaha, Analaha, Vayuhu, Kham, Ba. Panchabhudas. Bhumi, the earth. Apaha, water. Analaha, fire. Vayuhu, air or wind. Kham, space. The Panchabhudas. And each Bhuta has got a different subtlety or grossness. And depending upon the subtlety, it will also have a permeasive potential, permeating potential. Mano buddhirevacha. Then inside the body, refusing to be perceived by the senses, we have mind, buddhirevacha. We have mind, the emotional mind, buddhi, the rational intelligence, ahankara, the assertional ego. Idiyam me. In this way, Me prakriti ashtadha bhinna. My nature is eightfold. My dear souls, do you have the power of imagination? Krishna speaks. Arjuna nominated him as his teacher. And he said, I am your disciple, you are my teacher. You have to instruct me, remove my delusion, make me enlightened if you want, if that is necessary. Now Krishna has to fulfill that role. So he cannot leave Arjuna saying that all the 6 chapters I have discussed and nothing more to know. What about the aggregate of God? Not all come there. How do they function? How do you explain the different tendencies of people? The world consists of what? Continuous birth, emergence. And whatever is emerged has to be prevailing. And the prevailing ones will have to meet destruction. So you will find birth, prevalence, destruction, again birth. So Brahma is continuously producing. Mahavishnu is sustaining what Brahma has produced. And Shiva is destroying everything in its own way. All the 3 processes are equally important and equally contributory to preserve the total aggregate. So Krishna says, this is my own Prakriti. Krishna speaks about his understanding. And he has already said, many people have become like me, thinking about me, contemplating upon me, worshipping me. They have become like me. Bhagavad Jnana Tapasa Puta Madbhavam Agataha. They have attained to my nature. So it is not a solitary Krishna. Many can be Krishna-like. It's a very common knowledge available before the humans. You should first of all hear it from an enlightened person, and after listening to it, you should employ your own intelligence to ratiocinate over it further and further until the knowledge becomes clear to you and one with you. This is what happened to Arjuna. Ahankara idiyam me bhinna prakriti ashtadha. How many factors has Krishna referred to? 8 factors. What are the 8? Panchabhutas are the 5. Then mind, buddhi and ahankara. Our personality is a composite personality. In that our body is only the gross part. Inside the body there is a subtle personality, the inner personality. That inner personality consists of the emotional mind, the rational intelligence and the assertional ego. Now beyond these 8 is what we call the substratum for all, the self. So these 8 are the transforming features. So Krishna presents here what? Bhumir abo nalo vayuh kham mano buddhirevacha ahankara idiyam me bhinna prakriti. He speaks only of 8. All of them are visible, understandable. The Panchabhutas we see, mind we feel, intelligence we know, and ego also we know. So where is anything unknown or unknowable here? All are experiential. So where is the problem in understanding them? You experience them somehow, but your experience will have to be further touched up with a proper knowledge. As Krishna is doing for Arjuna, as says Ashtavakara did for Janaka, And sage Vasishtha did for the 15-year-old Rama. You are living in a much better world. Your educational world also is far more. So to understand this will not be difficult at all, very easy. Here I wanted to tell you, the idea is to convey this knowledge. For conveying this knowledge, you must have some props. Some postulations are necessary. And through them, first of all present them, then let the listener grasp them, and while he has grasped, you can build over what he has grasped. So he says, there are 8 factors which constitute my nature. Pinna Prakriti Ashtadha. The same Krishna spoke to Uddhava from Dwaraka when both Uddhava and Krishna were advanced in their age. Krishna was 125. Parallelly, correspondingly, Uddhava also must have been older. There, the conversation was more elaborate. Here in the Bhagavad Gita, we have 18 chapters, but the Krishnodhava dialogue has got 24 chapters. Here, the context was the notorious war which prevailed for 18 days, destroying 4.5 million warriors minus 10. There in Dwaraka, Krishna was sitting comfortably. Then Brahma came and submitted a memorandum. In response to that, Krishna said, I understand and agree with all that you have said. The time has come for me to depart, come back. Everything that was to be accomplished, reducing the weight, excess weight of the earth, I have done, I have accomplished. But my family, my lineage, my Vrishnikula has become proud of my exploits and excellences. So if I leave them, a danger will result. Just like oceans overflowing the boundaries, they will start spreading destruction to the society, and because I am not there, nobody will be able to stand before them and then say, stop. When I am there, they will heed me. The moment I go, just like the oceans overflowing the boundaries, spoiling everything, everything will be destroyed. So the only means will be, I will bring about their destruction. How? I will create quarrels between them. How? There are huge bamboo gardens in forests. They are all living in a cluster. When wind comes, they rub against each other like this. So fire is born, and that fire spreads. The whole clusters, all of them are destroyed. Similarly, I will generate a kind of a quarrel. And in the quarrel, they will take sides and start beating against each other. Including me, they will beat, then I will also go. Uddhava became very pensive. Arey, my Lord Krishna is leaving, and I cannot be without him even half a second. So he expressed his inability to survive after Krishna left. Then Krishna said, okay, you leave before I leave, so the problem becomes mine. See how clever Krishna is. You leave Dwaraka and me before I leave. So the problem is I will be missing you. Yes, Krishna, you are my Lord. The moment you say this, I must leave, but I am unable to leave. Because of the delusion I have, I am attached to my body, and whatever belongs to the body becomes mine. So I suffer from delusion, attachment. Now these are products of the mind and the intelligence. Who will penetrate there? I cannot get into them. I only see my visible body, not the invisible mind and intelligence. But the problems are there. Soham mamahamiti moodhamadir vigadha. Two are the delusions. Soham. I consider this body to be myself. Mamaham. And all the things belonging to the body, for the use of the body, I feel mine. So you should enter my inside. Remove these delusions. Make me fit to listen to and obey what you say. Then Krishna began a more elaborate instruction. Bhagavad Gita contains 700 verses. But Krishna's advice to Uddhava has 1000 Sanskrit verses. So there he explains the proposition very well. Kati tattvani vishvesha sankhyataan rishibhih prabho navaikadasha panchatrini athatvamiha shushruma. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna speaking to Uddhava. How many principles or tattvas are there? Our rishis are speaking quite a lot. Some will say, you say 8. The rishis say, no, it is 26. Some people say 15, others say 18, like this. What is all this? I am not able to understand. Sankhyataan rishibhi prabho navaigadasha panchatrini athatvamiha shushruma. Kejit shad vimshadim prahuhu apare panchavimshadim saptaige navashat kejit chatvari ekadashapare. Some people are saying not 8, 26 principles are there. Others say 25. Another group says 7, 9, 6. Some people also say 4 and 11. So the subject is the same. The constitution of the world, the constituents of the world, the complexity of the world. How is it that it becomes 8, 26, 24, 15, 10, 4, etc.? Do you want me to explain what these 26 are? I don't think it is necessary. Some people say that it is 17. Kejit saptadasha prahu. Shodashaige trayodasha. Some people say 16. Edavatvam hi sankhyanam rishayo yad vivakshaya gayanthi prithagayushman idam no vaktumarhasi. So many rishis, all of them are knowers, all of them are ascetics, all of them are austere. They are masters of wisdom. How is it that I speak plurally like this, differentially like this? Krishna says, all of them speak differently. There is no point at all. Provided with these differences, they can make out a theory, present the matters, and lead the thinkers and listeners to where they should reach. provided they are able to make use of these figures, make the people think properly and reach them where they should, all their statements are correct. Mahatam kim ashobhanam is a great proverb. It has become a great proverb in India. Mahatam kim ashobhanam. For great and renowned people, what is their wrong or inauspicious? They can say whatever they want. But with their statement, they must be able to guide the seekers to where they should reach. That is the point. In the case of Krishna, what is the philosophy he propounds? I think his philosophy is very simple. He speaks only about what? Prakriti and Purusha. And his Prakriti consists of 3 gunas. Gunas means qualities. Gunas mean qualities. What are the qualities? Sattva guna, Rajo guna and Tamo guna. What is Sattva guna? Light, knowledge and happiness. These are produced by Sattva. The source is Sattva. In Rajas, it is activity and the causes for activity, like desire, hatred, competition and the like. What is Tamas? Ignorance, night, sleep and lethargy. So Krishna says, the entire world is made up of the 3 gunas. And these 3 gunas are qualities of Prakriti and aggregate. Now what you have to do is understand that Prakriti is a complex creation. It works also in a complex manner. Understand the Sattva guna, Rajo guna and Tamo guna will be there, one after the other. But understand that it does not belong to you. It belongs to nature. It is nature that has shaped your body. I am speaking. Do you think I have the capacity to speak? No. Speech is a quality of the tongue, mouth. I have not made my mouth. So for my speech, what is responsible? Prakriti is responsible. I have 10 fingers, 5 plus 5. Each has its own shape. Everything seems to be complementary to the rest. Who has made this? Nature has made it. Do I have any proprietary right over it? No. I can use them. So altogether there are only 3 gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. And these gunas are belonging to Prakriti. You try to heed them, that's all. But, untouched by the 3 gunas, above them, transcending them, there is an identity. That identity is what you refer to as the I. So your I does not refer to Sattva guna, Rajo guna or Tamo guna. These gunas are a step below, and the I is totally different from all the 3. So this is his philosophy. What is that? Nanyam gunebhya kartaram yada drashta anupashyati gunebhyasya param veti madbhavam sodhi gacchati. I will explain it better the next day. This is from 14th chapter, 19th verse. Don't stop with gunas and Prakriti. Let the gunas do whatever they want. But your identity is the I. The eyes are not your identity, hands are not your identity, even your mind is not your identity, intelligence or ego also is not. Your identity is the I. And that I transcends the gunas. So allow the gunas to be alternately appearing in you and making you do your work. Speak, walk, hold, think, ratiocinate, assert. All these things you do. But understand that you are different from all these. When this understanding comes, no guna will be hindering you. Sattva guna will come and be in operation for a while. Following that rajas will come. Following that tamas will come. Again sattva guna will come. So you will get up early in the morning, continue to be active for 16 hours. Thereafter you go to sleep for 8 hours. And after the sleep, wakefulness will again be born from sleep, will prevail. So allow the whole prevalence. But, using your intelligence, you understand that I am none of these gunas and their effects. They are only peripheral. They are around me. As I am putting on my dress, so I am putting on this gunatraya body. I am different. Nanyam gunebhya kartaram yada drashta anupashyati gunebhyascha param veti madbhavam sodhigach. Arjuna, in me, I have this perception. That Krishnatva means perceiving the I as different from above the three gunas and their influence. Everybody thinks that we are all the body, nothing beyond the body. What a fundamental wrong! The body may be gross, visible, with its own multiple properties. That does not make me the body. I am different from the body. I am as different from the body as is the body different from the dress. As are the lungs different from the air they breathe. Okay, let me stop now. Are you finding it interesting? I am wondering. See, Arjuna is being provided by Krishna an expansion in his outlook and vision. You have to understand the aggregate creation. Your body and your individuality, how many individuals are there here? What about the totality of creation? And where do we fit in? So the knowledge should grow from the individual to the universe as a whole, understanding the whole complexity around you, knowing the art and the process by virtue of which you can remain unaffected, allowing the play of gunas in you one after the other, and remain sufficiently poised, harmonious, fulfilled, feeling inner abundance, fullness, and magnificence. Let us stop. See, what is Arjuna facing? He is facing an army of 4.5 million fighters. And Krishna had stationed his chariot right in front of his grandfather and teacher, other adorable people, with whom and between whom and him there is no enmity at all. Can you imagine how treacherous the situation was? And think of 18 days ahead. At the end of 18 days, they had to kill their grandfather. Actually, grandfather chose to die later. They had to hit him and he fell from the chariot. Drona, the teacher, was killed. Many others, his own relations, relatives. Can you imagine? Such a huge, terrifying task. Where from will he get the strength to do this? The insight to accomplish this. That insight he is providing here. This is all the aggregate nature. It is not you, Arjuna, fighting alone. Certainly not. Mayaivaide nihata purvameva nimitta mayokam samabhava savyasajin. All this fight has already been done. You only become instrumental in bringing it about, he says. So I think it's a very huge affair. All of you must have the power of imagination. At the same time, the might and magnificence of intelligence. Okay. Samvedya varjidamanuttamamegamadhyam samvidpadam vigalanam kalayan mahatman hridyeva tishta kalanarahita kriyam tu kurvan akartrapadame samo kurvan akartrapadame samodita shri kurvan akartrapadame samodita shri. Harihi, 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 Om Tas. We shall recite the conclusional Omkara once and then disperse. All of you take your pose for it and be ready. Okay. I would like to know whether you find it interesting, enlightening and elevating. Okay. We shall see. Health and ill health, they go together. They are a pair of dundwas. Some days we will not be very healthy, some days we shall be healthy, like that. Okay.